Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Alistair and this is the Saucony Endorphin Trainer. So the Endorphin Trainer is a brand new model from Saucony, and it is a super trainer of sorts. It's really designed for anyone who wants to be able to have comfortable daily mileage, but also be able to pick up the pace. And that's really why this shoe has a carbon fiber plate and a high stack height in it. It's really trying to target people who want to do a little bit more than just your average daily run. Some of the special things about the Endorphin Trainer include the fact that it has dual layer of foam and a carbon fiber plate running through it. So the top layer being the squishy, soft and plush Incredi Run foam, and the bottom slightly thicker layer being Power Run foam, which is more firm. And then you've got the carbon fiber plate, which is a 3/4 length that runs right through the middle of those two foam layers. While the Endorphin Trainer does promise to be very versatile in the types of runs you can do in them, for me, it's fallen a little short in some key areas that I think are most important for a daily trainer. All of which I'm going to go over in this review. But first, let's go over the key specifications. They cost $180, which is quite expensive. Not hugely expensive for a super trainer, mind you, but it's quite expensive for a daily trainer. But I'll let you know at the end of this review if I believe it's worth that price tag. They have an 8mm drop from heel to toe. That's 42mm at the heel and 34mm under the forefoot. So pretty high stack height. They weigh 10.1 ounces or 286 grams, and that's for a size US men's 9, my pair. That's a little on the heavy side for a daily trainer that promises to be able to pick up the pace. When it comes to the midsole and the cushioning, well, you've got 2 layers of foam, as I mentioned before, with a 3/4 length carbon fiber plate running through the middle. The top layer you have Incredi foam, which is incredibly cushioned, very plush. If you look at the overlay now, you'll see me compressing the heel, and actually all the compression that's happening is in this layer of Incredi foam, which is quite interesting. I'd like to see more compression across the whole midsole really to get the best performance out of a daily trainer. The bottom layer is Power Run foam, and that's just a little bit more firm and a little bit more responsive. And then you got the carbon fiber plate through the middle. And that should give you extra response and forward propulsion. Does it? Well, I'll let you know very soon. The upper is using a one-piece upper, and it's very breathable, soft and cushioned. The outsole is mostly foam, that's Power Run foam, with a couple of bits of rubber compound on the bottom. And I will go into this in more depth in just a moment. What's the sizing and fit like then? Well, they are very much true to size in length, but it's a very roomy and voluminous fit. So if you have high volume feet or even wide feet and you want a bit of room in the toe box as well, then these shoes are going to fit you really well. If you have narrow feet, your feet are probably going to be swashing around inside the shoe and you're probably not going to have the best time out there. In which case, I'd avoid this one and maybe look at a different daily trainer. And if you are in the market for the best daily trainer for you, definitely head over to my best daily trainers roundup. I'll put a link up there and down in the description. On there, I keep that updated. Every time a daily trainer that I review is good enough, I will put it on that list and rankings do shuffle. So if you're looking at this video in the future, definitely look at that list next. And while the upper mesh is really nice and smooth and airy inside, it does have a bit of a loose fit with not a huge amount of support. So it just feels a bit wishy-washy to me, this upper. That said, if you do have high volume feet, I think you might actually be able to get a really nice fit in these. If you're enjoying this review so far, please give it a like, share it with a friend, and subscribe to my channel for more running shoe reviews just like this one. I always keep things authentic, honest, and as insightful as possible so that I can help you determine whether the shoe I'm reviewing is going to be best for you. But if at any point you've got any questions about the shoe that maybe I haven't answered, just ask me a question in the comments. And if you really don't know where to start, you're not sure which running shoe is going to be best for you and your needs, let me know your circumstances in the comments and I'll get back to you and get you hooked up with the best running shoes for you. Right, congratulations, you've made it to my performance review. I'm going to start by going over the things I like about the Saucony Endorphin Trainer. First off, the midsole. So it does have a nice bit of shock absorption. That's coming from the Incredi-Run layer of foam which sits on the top. It compresses really nicely when you land and produces a nice stable and confident ride. And a lot of that is coming from the way the sidewall kind of goes up and cradles your foot within the shoe. It kind of supports it and holds it more steady as you're running. It's quite nice that there is a carbon fiber plate in this shoe as well. So if you do want to pick up the pace, there is some more forward propulsion going on because of this high tension flex that the plate gives you. So under flex, you store the energy, and then when you release, you get that forward propulsion. But in reality, it doesn't work quite as well as I would like. And I'll explain why in my section where I talk about the things that could be improved. The engineered mesh upper, while doesn't fit as well as I'd like for my feet, and I think most people with medium or narrow feet for that matter, it is very airy and breathable. And there's a bit of flex there, and it's also very soft inside. So if you are a sockless runner and you do have higher volume feet, I think you're gonna really like how these feel. So moving on to the things that I feel could be improved with the Saucony Endorphin Trainer. Now there are more areas for improvement than things that I actually like about this shoe. So let's get started. First off, the weight of 10.1 ounces is a little bit heavy for a daily trainer promising extra speed from it or versatility. You can get much lighter speed training shoes for sure, and for less money for that matter, and ones that perform better at higher speed. But for me, the weight and the high stack height and the formational design of this midsole make the shoe feel a little bit clunky. The Endorphin Trainer is quite a loud shoe as well. I'll play a clip now just so you can hear what it sounds like when I'm running. So what do you reckon? It's not the usual silent stealth mode shoe, is it? I feel like the bulkiness kind of hinders smooth transitions, and that's where you're getting that pitter-patter noise as you hear me run. And this, I believe, is coming from the design of a midsole, which I feel has some synergy issues. So first off, when you land on your heel, you do notice the compression from the Incredi foam. And what that does is actually give you a nice soft landing, but it dampens the responsiveness. So when you do land, you are landing on this thick layer of power run foam, which doesn't actually compress that much. So you kind of got this high compression mixed with a low compression foam, when in reality I'd much rather just have a foam that's kind of in the middle and it spreads across the whole shoe, so you get synergy. But what's actually happening is this top layer compresses, then I don't have as much power to initiate this carbon fiber plate that runs through the middle of it. So I'm really not making as much use of that plate as I would if I had a slightly firmer layer at the top here. And then, as I said before, you hit this more firm layer on the bottom, creating that kind of slapping noise when you run. And for me, it just lacks the synergy of the three layers of the midsole, and it just doesn't perform that well. Next thing is the rubber compound on the outsole. This is hugely minimal. All this white area here is actually the foam. It's the power run foam that you see here. It just wraps around and it's a continuation. This area is not going to be as grippy as a rubber compound, these orange areas. And it's not going to be as durable either. So I feel like for $180, I'd want more rubber compound on the outsole. Just because I know I'm not going to get much durability out of this. Saucony has put the rubber compound where they are kind of most likely to be connecting with the ground. If you're a 4-foot runner, you're most likely to be kind of landing here on this inside edge of the shoe. Of course, not everyone will. So different people are going to experience different amounts of durability issues on this shoe. And then if you heel strike, this is the most popular area to heel strike, on the outside edge. But for me, it's just not enough. For $180, I need a lot more rubber compound on this outsole to make this shoe last, but also give me traction in wet conditions. Then there's the tongue. It's a little bit short, so it does slip down. You can see here, it's very short. I can't even pull it up. to get more length out of that tongue. What happens then is you do feel a little bit of pressure from the laces around the top of the tongue on top of your foot. So I feel like that could easily be solved by making the tongue a little bit longer and having a better system for locking that tongue in place so that it doesn't slip down. Well, you made it to my final verdict. If you've watched this video all the way through, you probably know what I'm going to say now. Is it worth $180? No, I think you are probably better off giving this one a miss. If you're looking for a speed training shoe, head over there. There's a link up here and in the description. That will go to my best speed training shoes roundup, where I've got all the highest performance, all the best performance from my reviews on there, and they're ranked. Also, another link here for my best daily trainers running shoes roundup. On there, got the best daily trainers for you to choose from. But this one, it's just trying to do both, more so daily training rather than speed training, but it is trying to do both. I feel like because of that, it's not doing either of them particularly well, unfortunately. And that's like with so many things in life. Trying to make a product that does everything really well is just very difficult to do. I feel like you have to pick a side sometimes, and for a shoe to be able to do speed training but also be a highly cushioned daily trainer, for a shoe to be able to do all that in one shoe, it's very rare. Now, there are shoes out there that can do that very well. Some super trainers do it fantastically, but unfortunately for me, the Endorphin Trainer doesn't quite hit the mark. Well, I really hope you enjoyed watching this review. I hope it gave you some idea into whether this shoe might be worth you giving it a try or not. Either way, thanks for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please give the video a like. It really helps me and my channel. Please share it with a friend if you think they're going to be interested in hearing my thoughts on this one. And subscribe to the channel for more running shoe reviews just like this one. Thanks again, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.